Yo, what is going on, guys? JC here, and welcome back to another DayZ tutorial video. What we're going to be going over today is actually downloading and importing models into DayZ. That's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but I'm going to try and just be short, sweet, and to the point, like I always am. I do say, forgive me. I'm just getting over a really bad head cold, so I might sound a little snuffy. I might have to pause to cough, but I do apologize. But I really want to get this video out there. This is for anybody who's building a map or anybody who wants to import custom objects, custom items. In this case, we're going to be doing a trailer because I'm actually building Arcadia and I want to use this trailer on my map. So this is kind of like a win-win. So this is the trailer that we're actually going to be using. It's just off of CG Trader. It's a free model. There's hundreds and hundreds of free models. So I want to use this trailer and I want to import this into my game and actually be able to use it. I think it'd be pretty cool. So when you're looking for models, you just want it to be kind of low poly. Anything too crazy, the game just doesn't really like it. You know what I'm saying? So once you come up here and you download it, you're just going to download the FBX and then you're going to download your textures. And then once you do so, we'll just come to my downloads real quick. You'll see here's the FBX file, here's the textures files. You're just going to unzip them, and then here's all of our textures, and then here's all of, just the FBX file is what you need. So once all of that's done, you're going to be going into Object Builder. If you haven't extracted and mounted your P drive, I highly recommend you do this. Whenever you're doing any sort of work inside, you don't have to, but whenever you're doing any side of work inside of Object Builder or anything like that, I feel that it's always best to work off the P drive because that's what it's designed to do. Again, you don't have to do this, but I highly recommend you do this because it just makes your life a little bit easier. If you've never mounted your P drive or extracted your game data before, you literally come to Tools, you hit Extract Game Data. It's going to take anywhere between like 5 to 10 minutes. Does the whole 9. Once it's done, you literally just hit Mount P drive and you're good to go. All it does is create a virtual drive, which DayZ kind of runs off of. So once that's done, you're just going to open up Object Builder. You're going to go to File, you're going to go to Import, and you're going to choose FBX. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our downloads. I'm basically going to go to the FBX that we're wanting to do. So it'll be this trailer. We're just going to hit Open. And we want everything to import. Now the scale, it's always best to just go to like 0.0, like just small. As you can see, this trailer is absolutely tiny. It's absolutely tiny, but it's okay because we just kind of wanted to get a basis of it. So if you've never played around with Object Builder, if you highlight everything while it's highlighted, if you hold your right click on the object, it allows you to move it around. If you hold your Alt button and then right click, it allows you to kind of spin things, which just makes it a little bit easier to kind of figure out where you are. So this is incredibly tiny, but like I said, this is okay. So what we're going to do is this little ground mesh that they have here, we don't want this. So we're just going to highlight it and hit delete. And then right here where it says ground, I'm just going to delete that LOD because we just don't need it. So there's our trailer. But now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this. We're going to come up here to Points, Transform 3D, and we're going to go to Scale. And let's just make it maybe 2 times this size for right now. Still too small. So let's go to Points, Scale. Let's make it 3 times its current size. I still think that's going to be a little small. So what we're going to do is we're just going to double this size and then we can test it in game to basically see how big it actually is. So that looks somewhat okay. Now, as you can see, if we hold our Alt button, part of our model is actually in the ground. We don't want that. So just make sure everything's highlighted. Without holding Alt, just right click it and you can kind of drag it up. And then you're just going to basically, I feel like that's pretty good. That's it looks like it's sitting right on the ground, just how we want it. And perfect. This is what we want. So now what we're going to start doing is we're going to start going through. Let's come back to our downloads real quick. we're going to go into the textures that it has, and you'll see that there's a bunch of textures here, a bunch of textures. Now, this is meant if you are going to be doing it inside of like Blender or something like that. That's why you have all your normals, your metallics, all of that. All we're going to be doing is grabbing our base colors. So I've already, let's go to, let's just hit Arcadia Assets, open it up in a new one. So this is on my P drive. I've created a folder called Arcadia Assets. And then this is where I'm going to be putting all of my custom items that I've imported into the game. Once it's done, that way it's basically just a mod that goes with my map. So inside of this, we're just going to do trailer. And then I'm going to create a data folder. So the data folder, I've already moved all of my base colors in. These are just the colors that I want to use. I don't really need the roughness, the metallics, all of that. All we need is like the actual base colors. So at this point, we can close all this down. So now that we're on our P drive, we're in our mod, essentially our mod folder. I've created a data folder, which will hold all of our PAAs and stuff. And then I have a little config. We'll go over the config in a minute. Right now, we're just focusing on the actual textures. So let's come back into our data, and we're going to have to open up our DayZ tools because we have to turn all of these into PAA files. So just image to PAA. Let's just drag all of these in like so. And we're just going to hit process the files. And like I said, this is just going to basically turn all of these PNGs into a PAA format, which is what the game, that's how the game reads their textures. If you've ever done any sort of reskinning or recoloring shirts, whatever the case may be, you'll know this part. It's pretty simple. But if you've never done it before, everything that you do inside of DayZ, all of the textures have to be a PAA file because that's just how the game actually reads it. So once that's done and we have our 5 textures, we're good at this part. If we can just minimize this folder. Now, what we're going to do is, this is actually a decent model. You'll see that everything's already kind of laid out for us. So we're just going to click this rock right here. That way it highlights just the rock. And then while we're up here, we're just going to hit the E key and it's going to show the faces. So what we want to do at this point is just come here, this little folder. We're going to locate where we have our PAA files. So we're going to go to Arcadia Assets, Trailer, Data, and it says no items are here. It's fine because it defaults to TGA. So let's switch this over to PAA. And now you'll see we have our 5 textures. So we're going to choose the rock. We're going to hit open. As you'll see, it says Arcadia Assets Trailer Rock. It's everything it needs. You hit apply. Once you hit apply, you just hit OK and you're done. Now, if you don't do this on your P drive, it actually shows like your C semicolon slash, it shows the whole 9, and you don't want all of that. You don't want all of that. What you want is you want it to actually just be the folder. So Arcadia Assets, Trailer, Data, you want just the folder. The reason why you want this like that is because if you have like the whole C drive or maybe yours is on the D drive, or hell, maybe it's on an F drive. The other people who are downloading your textures won't be able to access those textures because they don't have that drive, if that makes any sense. So you want it to be just the folder name. So let's get out of this. Let's go through and we're just going to do this real quick and we're going to apply all the textures. So this is the top and stairs. We're going to hit E. Let's find our top and stairs. Hit apply. Hit OK. Go to the sides. We're just going to do the same thing. So here's the sides. Apply, hit OK. Let's go to the tires and support. I hate the way they spelled tires, but it is what it is. Tires and support. Apply and hit OK. Then we'll do the windows. Apply and hit OK. So now that we've attached the texture to everything, let's go ahead and highlight the entire model, and we're going to test this in Bulldozer real fast just to see if the texture actually stuck. And as you can see, there's our trailer and it actually stuck. So everything's good. We can close out of this. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to file. I'm going to save as. I'm going to go to my P drive, Arcadia Assets, open up the trailer, and then I'm just going to put it in here and we're just going to call this trailer. We have to save it as a P3D type. So we're going to hit save. Now, if we minimize this and we come back to our P drive, you'll see we have a trailer p3d here, and then we have our datas. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to create a config.cpp. I will have this posted or uploaded somewhere, that way you can actually have just kind of a base config to go off of. Excuse me. But if you, or just pause the video, write it up like this. But like I said, I'll have this provided, that way, just a base config. That way you guys can just kind of copy over and go from there. So the class Arcadia trailer units, this is what we're calling it. Class CfgVehicles. This is going to be under a HouseNoDestruct. This means you can't pick it up or anything like that. Then we're just going to call it land Arcadia trailer, HouseNoDestruct, and then right here, the model, we have to call out the file pathing of our model. So the easiest way to do this is just to come over here to your model, right click, we're going to hit copy as path, come in here, grab all of this, and then just Control V. And you see how it has this P drive? We don't want that. So we just want to get rid of this. That way it's just ArcadiaAssets Trailer Trailer.p3d. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to save. Once that's nice and done, we can come back over to our DayZ tools. Let's go to add-on builder, and we're going to make this a mod. So we're going to come to our P drive, Arcadia Assets. We're going to hit OK. And then I'm just sending this to a DayZ offline mode. It just makes it very fast for me to just pack stuff and test it as I go. So the build was successful. I'm just going to launch into a DayZ offline mode. Like I said, hit OK on this. We understand. This is where I test all of my mods. If you guys don't have this or don't know how to get this, I do have a video going over on how to like obtain one of these. It's very, very simple. I'll leave it below. Some mods you can't test when it comes to like certain scripts don't seem to work great. But if you're just like trying to test things like this, trying to test the scale, trying to test collision, this works fantastic for this, because it's very quick to just basically hop in, spawn the item, see how it looks, close the game, repack. You know what I mean? It's very easy. Much easier than having to go on and fire up a server, update a mod on the Steam Workshop. Like you don't want to do all that. That's just too much headache, in my opinion. So once this game loads, it should hurry up and freaking load. As you can see, this is my test loading screen. This is from a mod that we did, another tutorial video. Like I said, I test all of my mods on here. It's very handy. It's very handy. Like I said, some mods you can't really test because the scripts don't work correctly, but this is great. So once you're in here, we're just gonna hit Y because that's the default. We're going to go to object, and we called this land_Arcadia trailer. As you can see, there's our trailer. We'll just hit cursor, and boof, our trailer's in game. And that's actually a pretty good size. I'm happy with this size. Now you'll notice whenever we walk through it, it has 0 collision, and we don't want that. So you're like, JC, how do we add collision to it? Well, I'm going to show you. It's actually quite simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to close out of this. This is why I didn't close down my object builder. So we're going to close out of this. Let's pull up our object builder back up, and we want to add collision to this item, which basically, if you don't know what collision means you don't want to walk through it. Okay. So we're going to come up here, and we're just going to duplicate the geometry. Now yours might not look the way I have it. And that's okay. You literally just go to Windows. I'll leave this here for a second. Everything that I have shown in this window scene is what you want to have checked. That way you'll have the box. So I probably should have stated that in the very beginning. I apologize. This is actually my first time doing a tutorial inside of Object Builder. So don't shoot me, but these are what you want checked. So once this is duplicated, this number 1, you just want to double click on it, and you want this to be geometry, and you're just going to hit OK. So inside the geometry one, you want to make sure you're selected. You want to basically highlight everything, hit E. Okay. And you want to select all, which is going to just select all of these faces. Wow, it's not working. I like it better this way. Basically, you just want to select everything. Hit just clear, basically clear the texture out. You don't need any textures inside of your geometry LOD. Okay, it could throw it off. So if we double click back over here to our normal LOD and we hit E, you'll see that everything will still remain textured. But if we click into our geometry LOD and we hit E, there's no textures. You do not need to put a texture on your geometry LOD whatsoever. So now we're back to this. We want to make sure we're selected into our geometry LOD. And what we want to do is we just basically want to select this. This is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, it gets a little tricky here, because if we select this entire thing like so, then basically what'll end up happening is it's going to create a big box completely around the object, all the way out to the trailer hitch, all the way through. So basically you won't be able to jump on top of this trailer. Well, we don't want that. We want to be able to come over here and climb on the hitch, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to select basically just this hitch part of it first. Come in here where these are. We're going to right click. We're just going to hit new, and we're going to name this component 1. I can spell component 1, hit enter. And then on this component 1 up here where it says mask, like I said, if you come to your windows and you choose mask, you'll have this little button. We just want to add 50 mask to it and hit apply. And that's all we're going to do. Now we're going to do the same thing with this. We want the trailer hitch to have its own. So we're going to come here. Once it's selected, we're hit new. We're going to name this component 2, hit enter, add mask to it, hit 50 and hit apply and call it done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab just the trailer, because we want the trailer to have one single collision. As you can see, the windows and stuff kind of didn't get selected, which is a little janky. Oops. Let's grab the trailer. And let's grab this side of the trailer as well. Here we go. That way the entire trailer is selected. Looks fantastic. What we're going to do is we're going to come here again, hit new. We're going to hit component 3, hit enter, add some mask to it. We're just testing with 50. 50 might not be enough, but you never know. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab this. Let's grab component 4, add 50 to this. We're gonna do the same thing here. Component 5, add mask to this, apply. And then what we want to do is we want to grab all of these all of the stairs, but you can't grab it all together. Okay, so if, like I said, if you grab them all together, then it basically makes a box, it bricks it. So if we want each individual step to have its own collision, then we have to do it for each individual step. It gets very tedious. All right, so like expect to spend some time here. It's not something that you're going to just get the first try. My first model took me probably 4 hours to do. It was not fun. It was not fun. There's actually it was during a live stream. So in that live stream is still up if you guys are interested in watching it, but it was a royal pain in the balls. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So now that we've got that, let's grab our last stair. Like that's our last stair. We're up to component 7. So we're gonna hit new, component 8, add mask to it. And there we go. Now everything should be good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to file. We're going to save as. We're just going to override our current P3D file. Hit apply. And then we're just, like I said, we're add-on builder's already open. So we're just going to pack it. We're going to overwrite the mod inside of our test server. And then we're just going to launch the test map again. And then what this will do is this allows us to just test it immediately. We're going to go in game, we're going to spawn it, and we're going to see if our collision is working the way we want it to actually work. Yeah, the first time I did this, holy crap, it took me like 3 hours because I went through and I did geometry LODs. I did fire LODs. I did roadway planes. That way it actually sounded like you were, stepping on metal. I can show you guys all how to do that. We're probably are going to do that, but it was a royal pain. If you guys want to see a very like in-depth tutorial on doing all of that stuff, let me know. This tutorial is just getting an object in game and having it actually add collision. If you guys want to see about like fire geometry and all of that stuff, like I said, just let me know. In fact, I'll probably do the fire geometry in this, but roadway planes and stuff, I don't want it to have like a 45-minute video. I wanted this to be kind of short, but I tend to talk a lot. So once we're back in the game, we're just going to call this Arcadia trailer. There it is. Place it down, and we shouldn't be able to walk. See, as you can see, we can actually walk on the stairs. I can walk up on top of this, and if I wanted to, I wonder if I can, yep, I could jump on top of it. And that looks like a pretty decent. Now, if you'll notice when I walk on this, I don't know if you should be able to hear. While I'm walking on this, it actually still sounds like I'm walking on whatever texture I am. That would be with a roadway plane. Now, if I shoot this, you'll see how to me, I'm pretty sure the bullets are going right through it because we have to add fire geometry. So the last thing we'll do is we'll just add fire geometry real quick to it. All right, so let's come back into here. We're going to take our geometry and we're just going to duplicate it. And then as you figure, we're just going to double click. Oops, I'm sorry. Properties. And then we're going to go to fire geometry. We're going to hit OK. So on the fire geometry, what we want to do is we just basically want to grab, say, there we go, component 3. Component 3 is the entire thing, right? So while we're on this, we want to hit E. We're going to grab all of these. Oops, I'm sorry. Come back up to the top. Grab them all. And this is going to be a material. All right. So we're going to grab this. Let's come into our DayZ folder. We're going to come down to sounds. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. Environment. No, crap. I'm trying to remember exactly where this was. Give me 1 second and then I'll be right back with you. All right, there we go. Sorry, found it. So you're going to go to your P drive, your DayZ, you're going to go to your data. You are going to go to your data folder again. You're going to go to penetration. And then basically you want to make the sound of whatever we're shooting at. So this is going to sound like metal. So we want this to sound like a metal plate. So we just hit metal plate. We're going to hit open and we're going to hit apply. And this is just going to apply that sound to all of these objects. So we're going to go ahead again. We're just going to hit OK. We're going to file. We're going to save as our trailer again. And then we're just going to do the same thing. We just pack and we test in game. So now that we're back in game, we can just go ahead and spawn this object back in. The cursor. There we go. As you can see, we still have our collision. Let's reload it. And if we've done this right, it should give us the sound as if we're shooting metal. As you can tell, it actually sounds like we're shooting metal now. And that's it. That's basically how you do it. Like I said, this is actually decent size for me. I kind of like this size. I'm not going to make it any bigger. If you wanted to, you can just come back into Object Builder. I'll just show you guys real quick. Basically, you come to your normal, your 0.00, highlight the entire thing, points, transform this. It's based off of what this is. So if we have a 2 here, if we hit OK again, it's going to double the size of what it currently is. So let's just do a 1.5. Okay. That is now our new trailer. Every time you do this, you want to make sure it's not clipping into the ground. So we're just going to raise this up like so. Oopsie, like that. And there we go. we would just basically save again and repack the mod, and then that's our thing. And that's it. That's basically how you get a model into the game. Now, if you would want to place this on your map, you would just need to basically create the mod, upload the mod to either your server pack or a standalone mod pack, and then you would just place it in editor, and there you go. You've got a pretty sweet looking model inside the game. And we'll just start our viewer one last time just to kind of check what the size looks like. I still think that still would be a good size, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you get a model into the game. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully I didn't butcher this too bad. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing a tutorial inside of Object Builder. I still have a lot to learn, and I mean a lot to learn, but that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. If you, like I said, if you guys want to have a tutorial on like creating roadway LODs and all of that stuff, just let me know, and I'll do it. I'll show you to make it so it's like if you're actually walking on it, it sounds like you know, it sounds like you're walking on metal or something or some sort. If you guys want a tutorial on like how to add loot points to this for your DayZ servers, just let me know, and we'll go over that. I'll do a tutorial on like setting custom loot points and stuff. But for the most part, that is it, guys. So I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I will have a config posted below. That way you guys can actually spawn it in and test it, and this works perfectly fine using HouseNoDestruct. Nobody can actually pick it up. So guys, I hope this helped. If it did, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Consider subscribing. That would be fantastic as well. I do want to say we're so close to 5,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate all of the support that the DayZ mapping stuff has done for me. Like, you guys have been super supportive. We've gained lots of members off of it, and I can't thank you guys enough. Seriously, like from the bottom of my heart, you guys are freaking awesome. So I could ramble forever. Let me hurry up and shut this off, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment or join the Discord, and I will do my best to answer whatever questions you have. Until next time, love you, bye.